sit.
Welcome to the Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast, where we discuss Dynasty strategy, rankings, and all things NFL. So get ready to geek out on fantasy football with your host, Rich Dotson.
And welcome to the Dynasty Nerds Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Rich Dotson. He's Matt O'Hara.
Hey.
He's Garret Price.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going swell. We're talking some sells. If you tuned into yesterday's episode, we were talking buys, a little bit more than that. Touched some offensive line, but today we're talking sells, guys that we think, hey, a lot of people are looking to buy right now, looking to sell. Where the value is, who don't you think is going to be right for the picking down the road? Get out while you still can kind of players.
Correct.
That's kind of the definition of sells, right?
Yeah. You want to, their value is higher than what you think it should be.
Fair.
I think that's the easiest way to put it.
That is the easiest way
Comments,
to put it.
please.
Comments, please. Here they are.
Contribute.
Yes. You guys are right.
Perfect. So let's dive in, shall we?
Please.
So I had mentioned this, I think, out the rip, and I almost was hesitant because I was trying to find like the right sell for me. So I actually went to Keep Trade Cut for this because like they have a really good pulse on like literally the like who's in love right now with everybody. And I saw Bill Croskey-Merrit in Superflex rankings 91st overall. Like I even had a guy like Sam Darnold, which like. And it just really blew my mind on there. And I get it. Young rookie running back, cool name, player who, honestly, I liked his tape coming out. I was actually a fan. And this doesn't even say, like, I don't like Bill Croskey-Merrit. It has nothing to do with that. But, like, you talked about Kenneth Walker. Like, I'm just all about value. And for him to be a top 100 player, 91st overall in KTC, right now tells me, boy, I got to get out from him. So for some of you drafted him with a 4th, a 5th round pick, maybe even a little bit later. Anything that you get above that, it's going to be value. And I think you could do significantly better than that. Right now, Bill is currently running back 25 on a year. He's averaging 11.1 points per game in PPR leagues. He has 344 yards total. He's averaging 57.3 yards per game. He's 20th in the NFL in yards after contact. What worries me about Bill the most is obviously he doesn't really bring a lot of pass catching to his skill set. And if you're not a pass catcher running back in today's NFL, unless you're an outlier, an Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry, like you're just not going to be really relevant from a high level. You're going to live into that 20th, 25th overall low end running back 2 range. He's only got 61 receiving yards on a year. That's 39th most amongst running backs. His 6 receptions overall are 48th. And he's only seen about 1.3 targets per game. That's good for a 4.7% target share. When you look at his output on the year, 14.2 points, 1.7, 10.1, 7.7, 27, which is his big game. And then last week, 5.8. For me, he's just a running back on a team that has a rushing quarterback as it is. They want to utilize guys, when it comes to the route participation, you look at guys like Chris Rodriguez. This last week, he didn't play a ton, only played 1 snap. So it's a little weird, that situation out there.
McNichols was out there.
But then they use a little bit Jeremy McNichols out there as well. So for Bill, I don't love the long-term value there for Bill. I think he's almost like a poor man's kind of like same player. I kind of pushed the same narrative pretty heavily. I got a lot of pushback on this one back in the day was James Robinson. I got a lot of pushback. People tell me, oh, dude, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, dude, you got to get out from under James Robinson. Now, obviously, James was producing at a much higher level than Bill was. But, and honestly, that was even a tough matchup versus the Bears. That wasn't a terrible matchup.
No, I actually had him high in my weekly rankings this week because I thought this should be the game that he kind of
They had given up a lot of points. Yeah, basically that defense hadn't done well, but they stiffened up, man. They got a couple guys.
They played well.
They got a couple guys back from injury and really kind of shut them down yesterday.
So for me, it just comes down to if you're the 91st overall player, this is telling me that I can get 2nd round value for you for Bill Croskey-Merrit. And listen, I'm all for that. Like if I can get a 2nd round pick for Bill Croskey-Merrit, like I'm all in. Where I really like him right now. We were kind of talking on the last show, like the value of the market in Dynasty Fantasy Football right now, in trading away players, and people are they don't want to pay the price, or then they're asking for too much. I think Bill is the perfect pair up partner. He's the perfect, like, here's a 2-for-1 deal, right? Like,
Yeah.
here is Bill Croskey-Merrit and that older receiver for what I want. Like,
Would you give Bill Croskey-Merrit and a first to get Cam Scatterbo?
oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's the kind of move that I would like to make, where I'm now getting a running back that I feel really good about versus one I'm nervous.
You're
about.
giving a 91st overall player on KTC, and a young rookie right now who's considered the starter, which holds value definitely in Dynasty eyes, right? Like, they feel like, hey, I'm giving this, but I'm also getting this on top. So like Cam Scatterbo is a perfect example. I'd love to be able to give a first plus Bill. Some trades that just went down recently in the last couple of days. Cortland Sutton and Bill Croskey-Merrit for 26 firsts. Love that deal. Bill Croskey-Merrit and Woody Marks for RJ Harvey. I love that deal because I love the upside of RJ Harvey in this offense. As you see, they slowly try to like acclimate in this offense, and they're invested in him. And we mentioned that run offensive line. I saw a crazy one. This one's just obviously a drug infested league. Superflex tight end premium. Bill Croskey-Merrit for Ladd McConkey straight up. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
What have you done for me lately? I guess, but wow.
It was funny. I literally was talking to my son yesterday about like just making decisions, and one of the things I said to him was like, they have IQ tests for a reason, because not everybody has the same IQ, and you got to take the dummies and figure out who's not the dummy or not. I was like, so obviously we know where this league stands. Here's some more common ones. I saw.
Well, the one guy's really smart, and the other guy's not.
Exactly. Yeah. Bill Croskey-Merrit for 2.26 seconds. Love that deal. And this is where I was saying I think you can get a little bit more than a second. And here's the one I love as well. So outside like the Cortland Sutton and Bill Croskey-Merrit for the 26 first, the Cortland Sutton and a first, or Cortland Sutton and Bill Croskey for Cam Scatterbo, Bill and a first for Cam Scatterbo. Love that deal. Bill and a 26 second, so a future second next year for a 27 first. I think, and again, 2 seconds straight up is where I'd stand alone. I think it's very possible to get for Bill. But I love him as the real value of stacking him on something else, whether it be your second for a first, a Cortland Sutton, a Stephon Diggs, a 2-for-1 running back deal where somebody you want to get out from under. I think Bill is the perfect cherry on top to help get that deal done. And I think long-term, you're not missing out anything that's replaceable. A very fine player. And listen, maybe down the road, he could be somebody where his ADP dips lower. I'll say Bill's a buy at some point. But right now, I got to get out from under this ADP. I do not think the juice is worth the squeeze. He's not a championship caliber player. And more importantly, he's the perfect example of a player that I think is where everybody wants to go out there and pay this price for Bill Croskey-Merrit. Matt's last episode of his buy was Brashard Smith. And Garrett, you had a stat in between shows that you actually mentioned.
Yeah, when you look at it, I had it filtered out when I was looking on PFF. But if you filter in the running backs with the receiving grades, he actually has the 4th highest receiving grade period in the NFL right now. Now, obviously, small sample size and a little bit easier routes and things like that. But the fact that he's even being talked about in that range is showing some good things.
And it's those kind of running backs, those PPR running backs, they easily pace a guy like, Jacory Croskey-Merrit. And yes, he had that one big 27 banger. A guy like Brashard Smith can have that, where he catches a pass and rushes for 60 yards and scores a touchdown and has 3 more catches. So for me, Bill Croskey-Merrit has drastically outproduced his draft value, which is fantastic. Home run. Glad we were able to promote him a ton during our rookie shows. But for me, I got to get out from under for Bill today. I got to take the value while it's still hot. A replaceable running back, whether it be next year. Again, we mentioned teams that could use running backs like Kenneth Walker. Somebody could slide in. I do not think this is a long-term value. Could he prove me wrong? 100%. And I'm not completely out there saying he's that player at all. He could definitely elevate his game or stay steady. I liked his tape. He's a solid player. But everything I've seen so far tells me he's a replaceable player. And I'd much rather go ahead and gamble with that, trying to upgrade with the first or multiple seconds, which then I could use. If I get 2 seconds, I have 3 seconds, then move into the first for a more safe player than Bill Croskey-Merrit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there are some warning signs that he's a little bit just hard to rely on just looking at his numbers. There's a lot of up and down in those numbers. But you hear, the broadcast teams and all that kind of talk about how much Washington identified him pretty early on in the process in this offseason. Once they saw him on the team, like, hey, this guy looks pretty good. Almost, to the point where they felt comfortable getting rid of Brian Robinson and they're just kind of gushing the entire kind of broadcast about how, this guy, they see him kind of as a guy that can, develop into a 3-down type of guy. So I think there is some untapped potential there, but with a guy, anytime that you have a guy that's this late of a draft pick, if the light switch doesn't come on quick enough, they can turn the page pretty quickly and pretty easily. And that's the downside of holding a guy like Bill Croskey-Merrit is you might get caught holding the bag, so to speak.
Sure.
And there might not be anything there. So I get why you have him as a sell, and I think if you are in the right scenario, you should do that. I mean, if you're contending, hold on to him. Maybe it pans out and he's good depth for you. If you're not contending, or if you're in the middle somewhere and you hit on this 5th round draft pick and a contender's knocking on your door right now and saying, hey, I'll give you a couple seconds, great, sell him. That is what you should be doing as a fantasy football, dynasty fantasy football owner on a team.
And to be fair, Matt, anything I ever say from a sell standpoint, if you are a contender,
right,
unless I sell, I will specifically say, even if you're a contender, sell this player. For the most part, it's always hold on to your assets.
You're wanting to win a ship.
Yeah, but if you're anywhere, or if you get say you draft him in the 5th, and you already have 4 good running backs, move on, right? Move on there. He's got to be dispensable, and every running back's dispensable if you're not a true contender.
I mean, I think that should be a public service warning to all these sells. I mean, pretty much all the time, right? I mean, that should be your mindset throughout this entire show.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. I talked about him earlier on in the season, and I've used this analogy before, but I'll use it again. It kind of reminds me of, these types of players are like Bitcoin. If you bought Bitcoin at $100, you got him for free off your waiver wire. You got him with a 5th round pick, a 4th round pick, and you get to a 2nd round pick, you get Bitcoin to $50,000. That's amazing. Yes, could you have maybe held and gotten to $100,000? Maybe gotten to a first? Sure, sometimes that does happen, but you would hate for it to become nothing also as well. So if I'm willing to take a risk on a player like that was a late round draft pick, I want to be uber confident in his ability, in the coaching staff and all that. I need to be willing to go out on a limb for that guy to hold the bag, as you were saying.
And sometimes it's Bitcoin, and sometimes it's Hawk Tua coin. And
it just tanks right away. You just never know.
Sometimes you got to spin on that thing, is what you said.
That's right. So you never know what it is. But yes, obviously you would love to sell when things are at their absolute peak.
Right.
But sometimes it's better to just sell and make a profit, because you're never going to go broke making a profit.
No, you won't. And sometimes the deal won't be there, in 4 weeks.
Yep.
It's there now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that's a big point.
And that's the reality of it. You know what I mean? You'd love the perfect scenario to come down where you're entering the playoffs and somebody's running back goes down and you've got Croskey-Merrit, and now that's the peak. That's the apex of his value.
Here's a prime example. Who won all summer long on this show? I preached sell Chase Brown. I preached it as hard as I could. No, and listen, this is one time where I'm right? Again, sometimes I'll say I'm not always right, but Chase Brown was a hard sell for me. I said I never loved his tape, and I mean at the same time I said Kyron Williams, sell Kyron Williams. He's currently running back 1, but still I'm not over long term love him. But Chase Brown has been absolutely atrocious. And then even last week, he went into a decline where we saw his rush attempts where he was in the high 80 percentile, where now he's spent time even down to the 60 percentile. Samaje Perine getting involved in there. Maybe you could still sell Chase Brown for maybe a first, but you were getting a first plus of high end things. You probably get a Ladd McConkey trade then for Chase Brown. But what a massive window you went on there. And I said Chase Brown was just a product of that, that
perfect
offense.
system.
He's not a
perfect time.
He's not a good pure running back at all. So same thing. It's all about windows. The miss out. You're talking about Bitcoin. Chase Brown, somebody went from the 100,000. Now he's probably down to 20,000. Where if you bought 100, it's still made out. You're still up a lot, but I'd be real worried about it turning the Hawk Tua coin quicker than anything else, because I think the Bengals could be looking at something different going in 2025. And I've said that many times. So same thing. I feel And listen, I like Bill Croskey-Merritt's tape way more than I like Chase Brown's tape. I'll just say that.
That is true. Yep. Ditto here.
Who's your Sally Pie?
So moving on to my Sally Pie, which I guess is what we're calling it.
I like that. would buy that.
Selly pie.
Selly pie, little stand on the side of the road, sell some selly pie.
So that's selling pie.
Well, I'm gonna sell me some Jake Ferguson. Right now, 26 years old, currently the tight end one on the year. He's tied right now for the most targets with Trey McBride, 51 targets right now through 6 games. So he's getting a ton of usage. And he's if you look at the target percentage right now, he's second only to Trey McBride, 21.8%. Trey McBride is 24.8%. So both of those guys pretty significant, which is basically what you're looking for, right? In tight ends. Mm-hmm. You want a guy that is getting usage, getting targets. So at this point, you're probably wondering why the hell would you want to sell this guy, right?
Oh, I know exactly why. Guess who's back?
Yeah, right.
Back again.
You look historically, he's up at 21.8% right now. And Jake Ferguson historically is down in like the 15 range. He's at 15.8, 15.6 for the past 2 seasons. And obviously with CeeDee Lamb coming back, I think that was the major kind of bump, obviously for him and Pickens. For both of their values, right? I mean, he's out. He's the alpha. He's going to come back. I would expect kind of a regression back to the norm. So the guys right now that are up in that 20 range, Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren, Goddard, Jake Ferguson, Trey McBride, that's tight end 1, 2, 3, 4, and then obviously Bowers is a stud, but just been injured. The guys that are down in the 15, 16 range, Mark Andrews, Mason Taylor, TJ Hawkinson, Dalton Kincaid, Zach Ertz, good players, but tight end 21, tight end 29, 22. Kincaid is kind of the outlier there, tight end 6, and then Zach Ertz, tight end 17.
And on a points per game basis,
Sexy Rexy.
Right. So Dalton
left him in on one league.
Dalton Kincaid is the one guy that's not getting a ton of target share, but he's producing. Probably because he's so talented. But for me, I think it screams, hey, get out from underneath this guy now, while you can. This is like a tight end premium type of sell. And obviously if you're not contending, because this is the perfect scenario where somebody's like, they're thinking they're getting the hotness, right? Mm-hmm. And he's probably going to still be good.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to completely drop out, but right now is his max value. It's tight end 1 right now, and CeeDee Lamb hasn't come back yet. And he produced, pretty good even in the weeks when CeeDee was there. So I think you have a leg to stand on in negotiations and say, hey, I want something good. This guy is tight end 1. He was tight end 1. He was doing well when CeeDee was in. Yes, CeeDee is coming back. But I do not expect to get this target share percentage that he's been getting, this crazy amount, and I would expect the targets to dip some.
I think the nice part about this one is I think it's one of the times where I can see it making perfect sense for a rebuilder to sell him. Mm-hmm. But I think it also still makes a lot of sense for a contender to buy him.
Yeah.
Which is a perfect scenario when the price is going to match pretty similar and all that kind of comes together, because the one thing that's still going to help in Jake Ferguson's favor, I agree, the target share is going to drop, but this target's going to have more targets than most other offenses.
Sure.
So he's still going to be solid. He's still going to be good. You're still going to be able to be happy you got him. Maybe not quite tight end 1, but tight end 4, tight end 5, I think is very realistic for him. So I think it is one of those scenarios where I don't think it's a hard sell, because if I'm a contender, I could see myself wanting to buy for the right price. But if I'm a rebuilder, I could see myself selling for the right price. So I think he makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, this early start without CeeDee will dilute his overall finish, would make it look better than it really was, most likely. Gives me a little bit of the Austin Hooper vibe in Atlanta, when again he was just being pummeled with targets. And I think Jake Ferguson's a fine tight end, kind of almost a little bit of that Dalton Schultz vibe, a little bit too.
Sure. And that's the thing; he's a fine tight end, but he's not a long-term tight end 1 or top 5 tight end. What I mean?
He fits in that probably casual 7 through 12 tight end range, which is value. So like, and I don't think Matt's saying selling because I think he's a bad player. Again, we're looking at a window here where he's tight end 1 overall, and what sucks here is what hurts him the most is I don't think CeeDee Lamb coming back. And remember how CeeDee Lamb was pepper targets. I don't think it's the fact that CeeDee Lamb's coming back by itself. I think it's for how good George Pickens has looked in this offense as well, where
really
you were looking almost at like 75, like 70%, 30% to CD to George. I think that's going to change. George Pickens has looked so good in this offense for a team that's got to throw the football. And you, on top of having Javonte Williams, who's looked very good too, even though his numbers weren't great this from a fantasy football production standpoint, he still looked good. I think with Javonte, the explosion of George Pickens, in addition of CeeDee Lamb, that's what's going to really hurt Jake Ferguson. He'll have some spotty games here and there, will still produce, and obviously when he scores touchdowns, but I think George Pickens is really what's going to hurt Jake Ferguson and really bring that down, because CeeDee Lamb's still going to get his, because he's one of the elite tier 1 receivers out there. So I think it's going to bring Jake Ferguson back pretty drastically. I understand what you said as a buy. If you can get a guy like that, I'd be more interested currently right now in a guy like Harold Fannin for the price. For a target share, definitely David Njoku being down from a buy standpoint.
But if you're a contender, you want to rely on a rookie tight end. I feel like I would much rather have a guy like Jake Ferguson if I'm a contender.
Yeah, I think Cade Otton's a great go get for super cheap right now.
I think Cade Otton's going to eat for the next few weeks.
That's my point. Yeah. Every time those guys miss, Cade Otton always eats.
Yep.
Mason Taylor's another interesting one that's played well, getting good target share.
Yeah, but I think you can't buy, nobody's selling him. Everybody who has him is in.
Maybe.
I'm a big believer. It's easy. I hate when people we talked about this on the roster rescue. Somebody said, "Oh, I hope everybody went and bought Tyler Warren." When I said, who's selling Tyler Warren who just drafted in the first? Nobody's selling Tyler Warren.
All right, give me Brock Bowers.
I had to make a standpoint. Listen, this is anybody wants to be an analyst in the business, go ahead and do it how you want to do it. That's fine. But I play this game from a very realistic point of view. And saying to go buy Tyler Warren, go look at that. Go buy Bijan Robinson while you're at it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He looked good last night. Yeah. I think he could be a player.
Hey, go get Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm sure people are eager to get with him. He looks like the best receiver in the league right now.
I think he could be a player.
Might carve out a role from Algier.
So I'm with you, Matt. I think this is a great opportunity. And I remember, there's a big trade. I can't remember what I got for it, but I remember I sold Austin Hooper at that exact same time what Jake Ferguson's doing right now. And at time in the hall, whatever I got back, I remember that for months I felt so proud.
Well, I mean the thirst is real for a tight end, man. And when one pops, that's when you can really cash out on some of these guys and really cash in.
And it's a constant need. Yeah. It's why I'm such a proponent of having one of those league guys. Otherwise, you're in constant need looking for that. And then you think you have a guy like Njoku, and then Fannin steps in. Now Njoku's probably going to miss some time. You have a guy like Brock Bowers, he's hurt, but you draft some of these guys thinking hey, I fixed my problem. But we've seen all the time the problems never fix. Even when you think you plugged a hole, a new one pops up. All the time. It's a constant sinking ship amongst the tight end. And for the 22 years I've been playing Dynasty Fantasy Football, I have never, ever seen depth at the position because it's too hard. And the way the NFL is going, yes, there's way more opportunity for NFL tight ends these days to be more prominent. But at the same time, there's way more opportunity for the wide receiver to be way more prominent. Pass catch and running backs be prominent. So like Matt said, that metric of we always preach, you got to be the one or second option. It's the only way in today's NFL. And we just mentioned with Jake Ferguson, the mergers of George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Javonte Williams now being involved running in the passing game heavily, it doesn't open the door to make you optimistic about Jake Ferguson. Amongst the guys that are going to be in the middle, you feel very good about, but from what he's doing right now, I'm all up for you. Carpe diem.
Yep.
All right, let's get to the final sell. And usually I'm not selling, I prefer to sell the older guys and get them off my team before it's too late. But sometimes I'm just ready to sell just throw in the towel. I've seen enough. I'm too nervous. I am too scared. And
Cam Ward again here.
It is. It's Cam Ward.
Oh, wow. How's that?
We touched on real quick in the last show, and I was like, dang, that's actually myself.
Oh, Mecca high, Mecca honey. I didn't have these crystal balls for no reason.
Look, right now, according to PFF, he is the second worst quarterback, only ahead of Jake Browning.
Wow.
That is the only quarterback that he is ahead of right now.
Low bar.
And
is Browning.
I mean, he has shown me absolutely nothing. His press conferences are pretty dreary. His on the field energy is not good. He plays off script in an offense that isn't meant to be off script. And look, people could blame his offensive line all they want. His offensive line actually hasn't been that bad. Depending on where you're looking, it's always somewhere between 8 and 18 in the ranking. So it's been a fairly solid offensive line. We talk about Bill Callahan. He's actually done a decent job with this offensive line since he's gotten there. They've used first or high-end picks on this offensive line.
But that's kind of hurt. Like they took J.C. Tratham. They tried to use him at left tackle. They didn't. They had to move him to right tackle. He's been a disappointment over the last 2 years. So the offensive line's been okay.
But that's the thing. It's not like it's some of these other offensive lines that we saw.
No, I get it.
Drake May with 32 last year.
And they had one of the best offensive line coaches of all time coaching that offensive line and wasn't able to get more out of it.
So if he's gone, it's not going to get better.
It's not going to get better. It's going to get
weary,
worse.
to say the least.
Yes. And that's the thing. Like, could I end up being wrong and being like, Garrett, you were too early? Wouldn't be the first time I've heard it, but you were too early. Like, maybe, but sometimes you're on that ride and you're like, no, I need to get off before this gets bad. Because right now I'm looking through the trade finder at trades that have happened over the past few weeks.
This is where I'm curious. Because like I'm with you. And listen, first overall pick, he's got a leash.
He's definitely got a leash.
He's gonna get a whole new coaching staff in here to kind of work on. I hope they bring in a guy like Joe Brady from the Bills, Kafka, somebody who's good like these quarterbacks to help work with him. Yep. But like you're right, hasn't been good. But at the same point, I think the rest of the Dynasty community is also in that same boat
where they're nervous. Yep.
And the point too, where like Cam Ward, this is a guy who went in a super flex league, the number one overall pick, still went anywhere from pick
3 to 7.
3 to 7. Like to be fair. So I'm all for it, but it also comes down to what am I getting back to make me okay?
What's the price? So here's a perfect example of one that I would love to do. Cam Ward, and I'm giving a first, but I get Baker Mayfield.
Oh, so sexual.
I'm able to kind of upgrade and make my position a little bit better there. There was another one that was just Cam Ward straight up for a 26 first. It's a reroll. I would, at this point, I would like to reroll. There's some quarterbacks in this class that I really like, and I'll take a shot at a player that's just as talented, but maybe can play better in that certain scheme or whatever. So that's the kind of move I'm looking to make. I just want to reroll.
What about so then like. So this guy went about 110 to 22. Would you be ballsy enough to give Cam Ward a first for Jackson Dart? Or
honestly, at this
risky
point,
business. Tom Cruise, nothing but socks, glasses, and t-shirt.
I might do it. I honestly might do it at this point.
I think I might be able to.
Yeah, Cam Ward and a first for Dart.
Yeah, I think I would do, which does feel crazy.
It does. What a kick in the balls too, like or whatever you have down low. It doesn't feel good getting kicked there either way, but.
Even one that I don't love.
Months later, you're sitting there going,
could have just had him at pick 10. I should have traded back 7 spots.
I love this game so much at Dynasty. It's so
even one that I don't absolutely
love. Just when you think you got to figure it out.
It's like a 2,000 piece puzzle that's missing 2 pieces. You don't even realize it's in the end.
Dang it.
You had a good time, but you're like, what's going on?
Trying to like color in.
Let me start over.
This one isn't even my favorite, but I would be willing to do it.
Yeah, let me hear it.
It would be give up Cam Ward, get Michael Penix in a third. Like, I don't love Michael Penix, but I saw like he came back against the Bills last night, looked competent in that game. Like
that defense looked good last night, man.
The defense looked really good all of a sudden.
Was it Albridge the coach there?
Where the heck that came from.
Dude, it looked
they've spent a lot of money on those speed guys on the edge.
And they contained Josh Allen.
They did.
Wow. Like
AJ Terrell did well.
They schemed so well versus the Bill. I was so impressed with the defense. But yeah,
I would take Penix really easily, and I'm getting a third on top.
I don't think there's many starting quarterbacks outside of like, Matt Stafford, like, Joe Flacco doesn't
What about
count.
Tua? Where would you?
No,
I think I would stick with Ward. I think I would stick with Ward, but that was kind of the only one that I could think of in that range.
I think
that I wouldn't take.
I think Tua's press conference sealed his fate as a Miami Dolphin.
I think it did too.
And I think he is just about going to be done.
But yeah, I couldn't think of any other quarterbacks that we actually consider legitimate starting quarterbacks other than him, Stafford, and Rodgers. But just because Stafford and Rodgers are old, like outside of that, like I'd still rather have Dak Prescott. I get that he's older. I'd easily rather have him.
I'm with you. High end producer, man. Like, and
what about Bryce? Would you rather have Bryce Young or Cam Ward? I don't feel good about either one.
Oh goodness gracious! Great balls of dick.
I would take Trevor Lawrence over him.
I would.
Oh yeah, easily. Like that's. I might give a little plus on top.
I think I would stick with Cam Ward over Bryce just because he still has time to.
He's got one more year
straighten it
than
out.
Bryce does to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
2 more in a way. Yeah.
Like there's a couple guys like Tua, Bryce, like they're in a death march.
Yeah.
And there's vultures overhead.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So
Their NFL career as a starting quarterback, they're coming to an end. Justin Fields, I would not take Justin Fields.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Justin Fields.
No, I wouldn't
over
take
him.
Justin Fields. That's another one I would
Those were
not
like guys that
Yeah.
I got rid of Justin Fields early for a 28 first, and I was
that's brilliant.
so happy. I had an offer for a 26 first for Bryce Young, but I was going to a Browns game. And we were negotiating back and forth, and I missed it. And by the time it came out, like he took it off the table, and I was like, and then that was his first bad game. I was like, come on, baby. And then listen, I was somebody who was like, buy Bryce. Like, listen, I was wrong. Like he is.
You were right for a window. If you had then sold again,
he regressed. He does not. This is not the Panthers at the end of the season last year, and they're a weird team altogether too. Like
I mean, Rico's doing it though.
Rico looks real good.
I don't know what to think. Carolina Panthers are a hard team to nail down right now, man. Like, what are they? They're a quarterback away from being a good team. Right?
They're scrappy.
Yeah.
Which says they're a quarterback away from being a good team.
Yeah, they're frisky. All right, so here we go. I want to make sure before we go to our next segment that I remind you guys about FastDraft. Yes, I know that we are in season now, and those normal best ball tournaments, you can't do those anymore. But they have weekly things that are perfect, absolutely perfect for our people over here at Dynasty Nerds. If you're a part of the Nerd Herd or you listen to the show regularly, you have some edges, you have some insights that other people don't have. And there's other best ball platforms where there's a bunch of sharks out there. They know their stuff, but this is a newer platform. So you're not going to get as many of those people putting 150 entries in one single tournament. This is newer. It's a startup. It's a good opportunity for you to get in there. So you could look at the Quick 6 Super Slam, the Flex 6 Frenzy. You could make a $300 profit on a single $5 entry. So go ahead, go over there, use promo code NERDS. Not only will they double your deposit, but they're going to give you a free year of Dynasty Nerds. So if you want a free year of everything we have, I'm not just saying just the GM, but it's also the film room. It's the Nerd Score. It's the extra podcast. It's everything that we do here at Dynasty Nerds. You get an opportunity to do that if you use promo code NERDS. So head over to FastDraft today. Use promo code NERDS at checkout. And we'll make sure, even if you're a Nerd Herd member already, we'll even give you a $25 gift card to our merch store. So let's go to our second segment here. And we're going to do blind resume today.
Blind played this in a while.
Yeah.
Resume. So yeah, we haven't done this one in a little bit. And I'm going to be honest, guys. I might end up giving you guys some extra clues because these ones were not easy. These ones are pretty tough. But this always kind of gives us some interesting names to talk about that maybe we don't always talk about. So let's go to this first one here. Blind resume. Despite the season being underwhelming, I am still tied for second amongst running backs with 14 rushes of 10 yards or more. I'll read it again. Despite the season being underwhelming, I'm still tied for second amongst running backs with 14 rushes of 10 yards or more.
14 rushes of 10 yards or more. Already?
14 rushes of 10 yards or more.
Yards or more? So somebody that's not producing.
It's been an underwhelming season overall.
Somehow is still
It's not a rookie, right?
breaking off.
It
10
is not a
yards.
rookie. That is correct.
Okay. Is it Bucky Irvin?
It's not Bucky Irving.
It's not a rookie. It's not Bucky Irving. It's
not Saquon.
James Cook. No, it can't be
Not
James Cook.
Saquon. It's not James Cook.
I don't think Saquon's had a rush over 10 yards yet, I don't think.
He might have had a couple, but it's been frustrating.
Definitely Cam Scatterby because he's 4th of July.
He's 4th of July.
Trying to think here of 10. That's a lot of rushes over 14 yards.
Oh, it's
Or over 10 yards.
It's 14 over 10 yards.
14 over 10 yards. Are we going back to your buy, Kenneth Walker?
No, but you're warming up. Similar type of vibes. I even mentioned the guy when I talked about Kenneth Walker.
Breece Hall?
Breece Hall.
That's who I was going to say.
Breece Hall.
Okay.
Not been a great season so far for Breece Hall, but I wanted to bring him up because similar to Kenneth Walker, he was another guy that I was thinking about as a buy because he is also going to be a free agent.
Did he just put out an Instagram post like free in whatever his number was?
Oh, maybe. I did not see that. That very well could be.
All right.
Is there a team that's, I we can't talk because we're Browns fans.
but they're in a similar bucket.
Good Lord, man. Just the bad vibes around the Jets right now.
It's rough. It is
hard.
It is really, really rough.
Oh, so here's this post.
When was it?
1 day ago.
Okay.
It's a picture of him.
Okay.
And it said, he wrote, "They want me to lay down, but I got some to stand for. Hashtag 320.
Wow.
It does not sound like a guy that's coming back. And there were already a lot of issues in the offseason.
More sounds like a guy that wants to get traded.
Yeah. Yeah. He might be gone sooner rather than later.
I'm telling you, man, the Chiefs trade like a 3rd round pick and give him like what he would get up in that free agent, and then like they extend.
And then they re-sign him. That would be, I mean, that's the piece that that offense has been missing for a while. I mean, there's several teams that could absolutely use a guy, and maybe even in a way that wouldn't be as appealing to us. Maybe it isn't like we have an okay running back, but we want you as well, and we'll play you both together or whatever. Yep. But he's one of those players too, where you can put him in almost any scenario. Sure, I would like for him to be a guy that's getting 15 rush attempts a game and another 5 or 6 targets a game. But it could be somebody that's like, hey, we actually want to use him more of an Alvin Kamara type role. You know, we want him to be catching 7 passes a game. We're only going to run him 6 or 7 times a game, but we want him to catch a bunch of passes, be more of a weapon, kind of like early Jahmyr Gibbs or, you know, like things like that. Like there's a lot of scenarios where I think he could be successful. So I don't think it's just he needs to be getting 20, 25 touches a game. I think he could survive and be even better than he is now in a lot of different scenarios.
And most other scenarios, I think he could be doing better than he is doing right now.
Yeah, and that offensive line's missing Vera Tucker, who's one of the best offensive linemen in football, and just the vibes in New York with the Giants are the complete opposite of the vibes in New York with the Jets.
Absolutely.
So, not feeling great.
Yeah,
there.
big Brees fan. So, but I mean, to be fair, Brees too. Like he's currently running back 21, completely unknown future as well. So there's a lot of risk there. Obviously, we're all fans, so we're willing to take the risk on him.
Absolutely. All right, next one here. I am leading all wide receivers in yards after catch per reception by over 3 yards. So
I heard this on the broadcast.
Oh, did you really? Okay. All right.
I might let this one hang for
Okay. All right. By over 3 yards, 11.6 to 8.1 for second place. And it's not due to a small sample size, as I am leading my team in targets.
I'm going to let Rich dangle this
So
one.
you got this one?
Yeah.
He's leading all wide receivers and yards after catch per reception.
Is it Jackson Smith-Njigba?
It is not JSN. He is up there, though.
Yeah, Jackson Smith.
He is up there, but he is not number 1.
Yards after the catch per reception.
Mm-hmm. And they have to have a minimum of like 15 targets or something.
So who's making some big plays? Quinn Johnson be a guy I would think of.
It's not QJ.
Deebo Samuel.
Give you a hint.
Okay.
They are in the AFC North.
Zay Flowers?
It's not Zay Flowers.
DK Metcalf?
It's DK Metcalf.
Okay. I'm just going through all of it.
Yeah, I got to go through all the top guys. Yeah, DK Metcalf is, look, I get that Pittsburgh is not the ideal offense, but he's performing really, really well. Is he somebody that, has maybe lost a little bit of luster that might be a good go-get candidate if you're a contender?
I think he's an interesting player. Obviously, him and Rodgers are kind of starting to hit their groove a little bit, right? How many games in a row is it? Is it 3 games in a row he's had a touchdown?
I think so. And they had their bye, which throws people off too. When you have that bye, people kind of forget about you and assume it wasn't a good week because they didn't hear anything from you. So I think that's part of it as well.
It's weird. It's been weird how the DK usage has been like throwing the ball downfield. They haven't thrown what's weird is he hasn't thrown the football a ton. Like where DK's mostly a downfield threat, most of that and Diggs most of the part. Like they haven't utilized this week was like one of the first weeks Aaron Rodgers kind of took the top off for DK Metcalf.
And he's right now in points per game, he's tied for 12th. So he's a wide receiver 1 with 15.7 points per game. So he is producing, and he has not had a single digit point game yet.
Oh, okay.
So he's been really consistent.
I think it's a good marriage between him and Rodgers. So I would be willing to go out there and grab a guy like DK Metcalf. and kind of ride him out if I'm a contender and feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, he's had his bye week already too, which is nice. So you get out.
You get an extra week in that, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 15.7 points per game is pretty
solid.
Pretty solid. I mean, it's a hair behind Justin Jefferson there.
And he's not super old either. You know, like when you're trying to buy veterans, you know, normally we're talking about Devontae Adams and Mike Evans and guys like this. This is a veteran that I think you can acquire from rebuilders.
Is he 27 or even?
I think he's 27 or 28.
Soon to be 28. And and think too, he just signed an extension with Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Where
so
they
he's
just
not going
traded
anywhere.
Picks for him, and
Yeah,
they
he's
have nothing
27.
else. They have nothing else around him. Yeah, they'll likely draft a guy and bring a guy in like they always do to be behind him. But you got to try 2 more years of DK.
Yeah, after this year probably.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's go to our next one here. I currently hold the number 1 passing grade, according to PFF, ahead of Stafford, Prescott, and May. Those are the guys right behind him. It is not Baker.
It's not Baker?
It should be, but it is not Baker.
Wow.
He's top 10. I think he's like 6 or 7.
So the passing grade, according to PFF, you said?
According to PFF.
Wow, I would have bet all my money where it was Baker's.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing so freaking well.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Daniel Jones?
It's not Daniel Jones.
Is it Drake May?
No, he was one of the guys I listed right behind him. Stafford,
my
Prescott,
bad.
and May are right behind him.
My bad. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I was searching lists.
I was trying to ignore you.
Was it Pat Mahomes?
It's not Patty Ice. He's up there too.
Okay.
These guys are like all top 10 guys you're naming, but it's a bit of a surprise name.
Who are the guys right behind him?
Stafford, Prescott, and May. It's all guys that are having good seasons throwing the football.
Lamar Jackson?
It's not Lamar.
Jordan Love?
It's not Jordan Love. He's number 6.
Josh Allen?
He's number 7.
Jeez.
Wow.
Herbert, then Baker, then Jaden.
I can't believe it's not Baker.
I mean, it can't be.
It's a guy. I'll give you a hint.
Jalen Hurts.
It's not Hurts. Nope. I'll give you guys a hint.
He doesn't throw the ball.
This is a big hint.
Oh, sorry.
Big hint.
All right.
Guy on a new team.
Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
Whoa,
Sam Darnold.
He's playing really well.
He
is playing extremely well and kind of under the radar right now.
Yeah, really under the radar. Quarterback 11 too on a year.
1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. And I think there was a lot of narrative going into it that, it was all Minnesota. That's the reason he's good now. I don't think that's the case. I think this is legitimate. I remember it was actually funny. Jared was texting me one day about the new update to like Grok and AI and all that. And he stuck in something I said about Sam Darnold, about how I want to buy him. And he was such a good value, whatever. He's like, AI disagrees with you. And so I'm like fighting with AI back and forth that like, he's better than Bryce Young and he's ahead of Anthony Richardson. And so it was kind of a funny back and forth, but this was somebody in the offseason that I drafted, and I think I had 3 startups. I drafted in all of them because he was going in like the 9th, 10th round.
We were talking about him as a guy to grab, right? I mean,
we were.
So many of those guys that were going late.
And so this, I think this is legit. Like, are you guys at the point now? I know it's only 6 weeks, but are you fairly convinced that it's not Minnesota? He actually is a legitimate starting quarterback.
Yeah, no, I feel great about him. I mean, that deep ball to JSN this weekend was beautiful. I mean, he's always thrown a good ball. He was all screwed up between the ears, and I
just couldn't process quick enough.
Yeah, I think he knows what he's seeing now. He's comfortable in the NFL game and can kind of decipher things in the secondary. I think he said it very famously. I was out there seeing ghosts, and I think for a long time he was, but now he's got it figured out. And now that's come together for him, the throwing part's always been, pretty easy, I think, for him, and pretty natural.
And listen, quarterbacks, it's a hard position to play. It takes time to develop. I mean, Baker's playing at MVP level. People are like, oh, Cleveland. And listen, I love Baker more than anybody. It drives me crazy to see him somewhere else. But like, he also probably wouldn't have been that quarterback here in Cleveland. I'll admit that. Like he admitted that he had to grow up. He had to be humbled. Like, Carolina left him. LA Rams left him. Like, some of these quarterbacks need time. Sam Darnold, goes to certain places. Gino's washed now, but he had a little bit of success somewhere else. Like, it takes time, and it takes a right system and some players to really put together. And right now, Sam Darnold's looking really good. He's got a great player to throw to, throwing it 55% of the time, throwing to JSN.
Can't go wrong,
Yeah, I mean,
don't fix what ain't broke.
It really does help when you have a receiver like JSN who consistently run really good routes to get open for you as well. That does help.
Yeah.
A ton. It helps having a guy like Justin Jefferson, a guy like Jamar Chase on your roster. So, Yeah, from a standpoint, you're right. Being quarterback 11 right now, he's ahead of a guy like Caleb Williams, ahead of Bo Nix, ahead of Lamar doesn't count. But he's now Jordan Love's had a bye, but Jordan Love is averaging 18.2 points per game. Sam Darnold 17.4. So we're talking. That's the same thing. It comes down to he's 28 years old. It really does come down to points per game. While I was talking about Jackson Dart, if Jackson Dart is going to use his rushing ability, he's going to sit there and hover around that 20 points per game. Right now playing at elite level, Pat Mahomes, quarterback number one overall fantasy football scorer overall with 148 points. He's averaging 24.8 points per game, right? Like now that's obviously not standard scoring, from different players. But if you look at overall in PPR, Pat Mahomes is still number one overall. So a 4-point differential when you can get a player plus. And that's where it all comes down to. We talk about these pluses in Dynasty when you could trade. If you get the youth on top, but it's like you're trying to fill that starting roster out the best. So yeah, Pat Mahomes might be better, but on points per game basis from a guy, let's say going down to, a Jared Goff who scored 18.2 points per game, close to the same age. That's a 6-point differential. If you can get a guy who's giving you, 12 points per game, 11 points per game, that's 5 more points a game you're getting from your on your roster that you weren't getting. So getting a guy like Sam Darnold, who again, who's 28, is not some spring chicken, and we know how long term it could possibly be. Like what a huge upgrade. And I'm not saying Pat Mahomes, but a different quarterback possibly on your roster for that value, where people just aren't going to value Sam Darnold. And even though you gave that stat out there, Garrett, and Matt and I were surprised to hear it, even in being quarterback 11, I would still say today in Dynasty, Sam Darnold's probably a value. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, that you can go out there and get and flip.
A cheap quarterback
something.
too. A cheap quarterback too.
And you mentioned like Cam Ward, like somebody you want to get out from under. Just imagine you might be able to get Sam Darnold plus for Cam Ward.
I think you could.
Somebody you want to get out from under.
That would be ideal.
Yep.
Because 28's not old. You know what I mean? He could play another 7-8 years easy.
Easy. Yep.
And that's forever.
And two guys that we said were out, like guys, Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, Bryce Young. Could you flip any one of those guys into Sam Darnold?
I'm trying.
Because I would like to. I feel better about it. If they both Sam Darnold washes out, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good about this whirlpool I was in anyway.
I'll even give a small plus on top of all those guys. You want a third? Okay, cool.
Well, I'm not going to get too crazy.
Small
out there,
plus.
Maybe.
Little plus.
Yeah, small
Little
plus.
size.
Little ice cube on a nipple. Yeah, all right.
There you go.
Hey, Nerd Herd, want to tell you about a show that we've been doing live on YouTube where we go over your teams and we talk about how to fix your broken roster. It's called Roster Rescue. We do it live every single Monday at noon Eastern time. And if you want to get a part of that, just head to our Dynasty Nerds homepage, go under the store tab, and you'll find Roster Rescue right there. Perfect opportunity to get your rosters in shape before the season or even in the middle of the season to make sure that you can win a championship.
All right. So
Just a little
we've got two left.
Just a little plus.
I think number 4 is the easiest one.
Okay.
I think number 5 is the hardest one. So we'll see.
Little ice cube on a nipple.
Okay.
On the other nipple.
On the
All
other
right.
one.
Easiest one here, number 4. I currently lead the NFL in drops. However,
Jerry Judy.
Oh, Jared Judy.
I didn't even have to do the second part. Jerry Judy. Where are we at with Jerry Judy?
Good guys. Listen, there were swear words said in between shows when we talked about Jerry Judy the first time, so I'm not going to say them again. But
I
that
started
dude,
to buy all summer. Look at me.
that dude can go. I mean, we'll see you later. I don't know, dude. He
What would you take for him right now if somebody was like, "Hey, I want to buy low on Jerry Judy"? What would you take?
Second.
I would take a second.
If somebody said, "I'll give you 2/3," would you take it?
No, I'd rather
No.
just ride it out.
Okay. All right.
He's still
So
young.
that's the
He's
line.
still young enough, and he's getting. I'd rather ride out.
Okay. All right. So that's the
And
line.
honestly, the second's got to be like an okay second. It's got to be like.
I would
6
sell for
or
a late
above.
second.
I'll take any second. Doesn't matter what second. Give me a second.
I think that's where I am. Too.
It could be 3 years from now. Just give me a second.
Only because like a late second, the hit rate's so small. As
Don't care.
shitty as Jerry Judy is, and like his
care.
hands are like he's addicted to you porn. I would rather just like at least I could like
Slippery, I think.
lubed up.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
if at least
Active.
yeah, active, yeah, very active, yeah,
Overactive. It sounds.
Overactive.
overly active.
You got it.
Not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Don't shake my hand. I mean, to be fair, he's still like somebody like on a bye week. I had to throw somebody, which is what
Sure.
I'm using. I got to throw him in there. A flex spot. I need him. He's still usable, but he's like not somebody like you're happy. Like, so I'm not giving him away. It's as bad as he is, and how upset I am with him, and how much frustration I have now to watch him. You know, because that's why I get cursed. You know, like other people get to watch Baker Mayfield, I get to watch Jerry Jeudy watch balls go through his hands like consistently. I would not give him away. So a late second, I would not do, but a higher second, I would. I'd take that gamble to try and get a Cam Scatterby or something along those lines. Okay. And it had to be a 27 second. I want on this 26 stuff right now.
All right.
Until I watch the tape.
Last one. I think this is the hardest one.
Any second.
I'm with you any second.
To each their own.
I think this is the most difficult one, but I think it's also the most interesting.
I'll get this really
All
easy,
right.
probably.
Yeah, you just crush it.
Yeah, cheers,
All right. No one would confuse me as a fantasy RB1, but I am currently first in yards per route run at running back, and I am tied for 7th in missed tackles forced with 18 overall, despite missing a week and having a bye. So he's missed a bye, or he's had a bye and missed a game, but he still is 7th in missed forced tackles, and he's first in yards per route run at the running back position.
Shifty. Shifty.
He's forcing missed tackles.
Yeah.
He's making big plays through the air.
And you said he's not a running back.
But no one would confuse me as an RB1.
DeAndre Swift?
It's not DeAndre Swift.
I'm trying to think of running backs I had to buy.
I told you this is I think the hardest one. That's why I added the no one would confuse me as a fantasy RB1, because otherwise you guys would never guess it.
I'm literally just trying to find running backs I had to buy.
Jalen Warren?
Dang, good stuff. Jalen Warren right now.
Yeah, no thanks. You see that 3-headed monster they got unleashed just last week? Kenneth Gainwell's now taking all the passing routes. Go ahead. But anyway.
Yeah, no, that was going to be my question. Just how do we feel about him? Because those numbers are very solid, like just blind resume style. If I'm like, okay, this guy's making big plays when he catches the football. Yeah. He's making people miss when he's running the ball. Like, that sounds appealing to me.
Okay, it does sound appealing, but I think the big negative here is
Arthur Smith.
Yeah, Arthur Smith. And I think this last week, literally this game they just played was before this last week. I'm like, yeah, for sure, Jalen Warren, what a great value. Mm-hmm. But boy, am I concerned now, because one, Caleb Johnson is now active. Mm-hmm. He got the 6 carries. Didn't even agree with them. The biggest concern is Kenneth Gainwell. They had used Kenneth Gainwell into that role of that pass catcher and running back, and they really limited Jalen Warren this past week, and enough to the point where even the broadcast was coming out and saying how Aaron Rodgers is talking up Kenneth Gainwell a ton, and we know how they
were saying how Kenneth Gainwell could be a 3-down back and all sorts of stuff, man.
So I think that new 3-headed committee, and even just emergence of Kenneth Gainwell, really kind of smothers Jalen Warren just a little bit for me.
Sure,
he got the extension, right?
Yeah,
2-year extension.
Solid running back, smaller but real stout, good body, good in the passing game, can run the football as well. But
makes people miss, which is why I started thinking of that.
Started thinking about those kind of guys. Yep.
I just don't think the usage will be there for him to be something you can count on. Again, capable for sure, but he just needs that right situation.
He's an injury away from being relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
you need somebody.
Maybe two.
Yeah.
To be really relevant.
All right. There we go.
All
Wraps things up.
We'll be back next week with more Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Adios.